Today I'm going to show you the 4 different types of crankshaft flanges for the LS engines. These we're going to go over are just rear wheel drive. Keep in mind the LS4 front wheel drive is different. We're going to ignore that whole flex plate. These would be the types of flex plates that you would use in your build. For the first flex plate here, we have what we call the dished flex plate. So as you can see, it has the 6 bolts, which is a standard. This is going to be your most common LS flex plate. This is probably 99% of you guys out there doing a swap. You're going to run this style flex plate. This is what we call the dished, meaning it's like the offset here between this flange and there. And then this would be flat flex plate. So as you can see, these are quite a bit different. Just looking at kind of how from the ring gear here to the face of this, it's offset quite a bit. So on the 99 and 2000 6-liter only truck models, so on those 6 liters for those 2 years, GM ran what we call a flat flex plate. So it didn't have this dish as you're seeing here because the crankshaft was longer. So in the aftermarket ones like PRW that make this unit that we sell, this one offsets it back to where you can use your 99 and 2000, basically make it like the rest of your engines. That way the offset for your transmission is in the correct place. So that flex plate there, it also has the 6-bolt pattern. So it's the same bolt pattern on there as your other flex plates. Then next, we're going over to our LSA, which has 8 bolts. You'll see the 8 holes here on that crankshaft flange. 8 bolt is also used on all the LT series engines. So if you have an LT series engine, you use the exact same flex plate as an LSA. And then the 4th and final flex plate is a LS9, which has a 9-bolt pattern. Typically all of those are going to be manuals. You're going to have a flywheel on those instead of a flex plate. Those are a lot less common, the LS9 engines. So you rarely see those out there, but just keep in mind the LS9 had a 9-bolt, the LT has 8-bolt and the LSA, and then your 99 to 2000 6-liter had a flat flex plate with 6 bolts. And then all the rest of the trucks, which is most of them, have the 6-bolt with the dished. So we also have this one too. This is our billet steel flex plate, which is nearly indestructible. It's a billet steel SFI 29.2 rated for 20,000 RPM, which is way more than you're ever going to need. But if you need something heavy duty, we have those. We have the standard duty ones as well. The next thing you're going to notice here on the flex plates is you'll see these different bolt patterns. So on your light duty cars that you're swapping, those are going to have a 3-bolt. So you're going to have only 3 of the 6 different patterns. All of these, you can see there's 6 different patterns. So if you have a 3-bolt, that works just the same. All the heavy duty trucks like the Turbo 400s, 480s, those are going to have the 6-bolt. So those are really common. You can see all the different bolt patterns here. There's 4 different ones. So this one here is going to be the tightest to the crankshaft. So this right here is a 10.5-inch pattern. This is found on a lot of the small block, like early modeled stuff, even like Power Glides, Turbo 350, 400s. Then you go up, this is a 10.75. This one's commonly found on like the newer Power Glides, Turbo 350s, the 204Rs, 700R4s, and even 4L60s that were used behind small blocks. And the next is a 11.06-inch pattern. This one was found on the LS 4L60s. So if you had an LS powered vehicle of 4L60, typically that's going to be your bolt pattern. And then last you have the 11.5-inch pattern, which is found on the new Turbo 400s and the 4L80s. That one's the widest pattern. Typically those are going to be in 6-bolt. Next up, now that we know what crankshaft, flange, and bolt pattern you have and what your torque converter bolt pattern is. So if you're using a transmission that came off of a small block or big block and you want to retain that same torque converter, you're going to need one of these crankshaft extenders for the LS engine. Basically this would go in the back of your crankshaft of your LS engine, and it just lengthens the little hub area. That way your torque converter has something to engage with. Otherwise your torque converter would be too far back and it wouldn't have anything to stabilize it. Next we have the bolts for the crankshaft. These bolts here go into the crankshaft, so it goes into your center pattern here on the flex plate. So those are available in the standard length, which we sell these in 12.9, so these are USA made bolts for us. Or you could have the factory 10.9 bolts. These, as you can see, are a little bit longer. These would be if you're running a taller, like thicker flex plate or flywheel, or if you have an adapter in there, like 99 2000 trucks will run the adapter, you'll need that longer bolt for for those. These are kind of unique thread, so they're M11. Not a common thing you'd have laying around in your garage. If you lose these, you'll definitely have to find some more of them. The final thing I'd say here on the flex plates is if you're going to be out racing this, I would highly recommend you do not use your factory flex plate that's on your LS engine, because those flex plates are not made for a lot of RPM. They're prone to cracking. If you spin that thing up hard enough, and that thing launches through your floorboard, or you lose part of the gears. We've seen those on old small block and big block Chevy cars. You can spin those super hard and launch it with the trans brake, and it throws the flex plate through the floorboard and out the windshield. So if your legs are in the way, you would be in a really bad shape. Highly recommend running an SFI flex plate like one of ours here, and to use a SFI billet housing. For more helpful tips and guides, go to ICTbillet.com, click the guides page, and then the LS swap guides, and you can see all of this information and more with more detail. Make your swap that much easier.